Facebook and Twitter are being criticized for reducing the reach of a controversial New York Post article critical of Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden. This has prompted a debate over the role of social media platforms in censoring content and tackling disinformation. The Post published a series of stories based on emails alleging business dealings between Hunter Biden and Ukrainian energy company Burisma. The 2015 emails reveal that Hunter Biden allegedly helped set up a meeting between his father, who was vice president at the time, and an advisor to a Ukrainian energy company. Both social media giants claimed that the distribution was restricted to limit the spread of potentially fake news, but it wasn't clear how they reached that conclusion. Fingers are now also being pointed over the vagueness and lack of clarity with which these online portals apply their rules. Facebook placed restrictions on the story until its fact-checkers reviewed the article, citing standard operating procedures. Meanwhile, Twitter went a step further. It raised questions about the origins of the materials included in the article and said that the story violated its hacked materials policy, which prohibits the distribution of content obtained through hacking that contains private information. URLs, links, images, or material related to the story were either blocked or removed. Twitter even temporarily locked the personal account of White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany, who had shared the news report.
Kayleigh McEnany. Good Kayleigh, she's so great. She's incredible. They closed down her account. She's the White House Press Secretary because she's reporting the truth.
The clampdown on New York Post's articles has drawn condemnation from Republicans, who for long have claimed that social networks censor conservative voices. They also accuse Facebook and Twitter of protecting Biden ahead of the 2020 election. Senator Ted Cruz wrote a letter to Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey seeking answers for censoring the New York Post article. Twitter's censorship of this story is quite hypocritical, given its willingness to allow users to share less well-sourced reporting critical of other candidates. Others accused the platforms of having double standards and asked why proven disinformation about Donald Trump was not being scrutinized in the same way. The incident has sparked intense backlash from the New York Post, whose editor tweeted, The Post also wrote an editorial, "Censor first, ask questions later. It's an outrageous attitude for two of the most powerful platforms in the United States to take." Facebook and Twitter are not media platforms, they're propaganda machines. Cristina Tardeguila, Associate Director of the International Fact-Checking Network, said she considered Facebook's decision to take action without disclosing its methodology disturbing. The decision to censor the story by Facebook and Twitter has prompted calls for the revocation of Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. The act protects online platforms from being held legally responsible for what their users publish on their platforms. Despite the moves to restrict the story, the GOP House Judiciary Committee has posted it on its website, but the Biden campaign has rejected the New York Post report, saying it's an attempt to tarnish his image in the run-up to the election.